Adventures. As always, I'm your host, Keenan Chagaskis, joined by my co-host, Alex Tanaka. We're now officially in the offseason. MLB free agency has begun. Obviously, nothing's happened. It's the MLB.
Yeah.
But before we talk about the free agency and a couple of opt-outs that have happened, 50 million viewers for Game 7 of the World Series when you take into the Canadian and Japanese viewers along with the American. That's the most since 1991. Baseball's back.
Yeah, and Canada will rally behind a winner.
Yeah.
Right? Like you show Canada a winner, like Canada's shown that they can rally, like just like the four nations face off in hockey. When you were teams in the, like even with the Toronto Raptors when they were in the finals making the whole We the North run, Canada's oftentimes very easily able to rally around like their sports teams. It took till the World Series, but they got behind the team eventually. And I'm sure no one's gonna care next year. But like, fun thing is like
Yeah.
seeing like the insane takes afterwards, right? Like seeing the people who've like started to like follow some fan pages and like they're getting into it, just how confident they are being wrong because maybe they're like a Leafs fan or like a Canucks fan, and
Yeah.
like baseball's just very different with like how much of an emphasis there's on farm system, how many more prospects you have. It's just a
Hmm.
whole different other ball game, literally. So I hope this was a good introduction for baseball for a lot of Canadians because it's a really good game. The Jays are a really good team, and they got another. I read they got an additional 50 million in revenue roughly from making the World
Yeah,
Series.
something crazy like that.
Yeah, maybe they can splash some cash for one of these big free agents.
They will. I love how the hockey fans they're so confused why nobody's signed too,
Yeah.
and we're just like, yeah,
Yeah, they're like, what?
that's
They're
fine.
like, What do you mean? No, it's off season. No one signed him. Yeah, no,
Yeah,
that doesn't happen.
Bobachet's not back yet. Like,
So there's
we'll
this
talk. We'll
asshole
talk
named
about this in
Scott Boris
December.
you guys are gonna learn about, and he really
Yeah.
sucks. And we hate Scott Boris. All my homies hate Scott Boris. He
Everyone.
sucks.
This is perfect time for those numbers too. We got the World Baseball Classic in 2026.
Yeah, that will be
Like
very exciting. I just know inevitably someone's gonna get hurt. Then the team's reporter's gonna complain. But like these guys want
yeah.
to be out there. We want to see best on best international competition in every sport. And the last WBC was awesome. It literally ended with Otani pitching against Mike Trout.
It was a storybook ending, and I think it really just cemented baseball in the international market.
One
Like
hundred percent, 100% it did.
the
So
Czechia
it's
team,
good to see that the growth is there for baseball and that they can still, break 30-year-old records.
yeah, and let's see it keep going into 2026 and obviously beyond. A little bit of off-season news now. Cubs. This was a bit of a head scratcher. It was a tough backstretch of the year for Shota Imanaga, but they refused to add the fifth year to his deal, and he lets opt out. 2 great years with the Cubs, and this is how they treat him.
Yeah, he's had two really good years there. It didn't really make a whole lot of sense to me. I think he can go somewhere and he can be a really good number two somewhere. He's not an ace, like he's not
Hmm.
an ace, but he can be like a nice like two or like a really high end three. So there's going to be a ton of teams lining up for him, right? Like so he's gonna have no shortage of suitors. So he'll have plenty of choice. So if I was the Cubs and I want to try and win that division, I'd be really going after him. So.
Yeah, what a year! This was their year to really break out and become a true contender, and they looked like it for most of the year. They even won a playoff series, took the
No,
Brewers to
it
five
did
as
look
well.
like it for a lot of the year. It did
Yeah,
look like it.
and they still won a playoff series, which is obviously a great start. But it's all for naught if you're gonna lose Kyle Tucker and Shota Imanaga in the same offseason. It's just poor management, poor ownership, just being cheap.
Yeah, and the Cubs, I thought they would have learned and spent money because that team fizzled out very quickly after that World
Hmm.
Series run. They didn't really add a lot of top end talent, and they're kind of getting beat now by teams in their division who are a bit smarter than them. Like the Brewers are able to outfox them, and
Yeah.
where they develop, the way they acquire talent is very good. They also are kind of up against it. The Reds are going to be pushing them next year. That young team's going to get a lot better. They're going to have a lot of big league arms. They're in danger of not even making the playoffs next year. You don't have Kyle Tucker. You're losing a Managa. You're getting worse when the rest of your division's getting better. It's not possible for Pittsburgh to be worse. You may finish out of the Cardinals next year, but that's not what the Cubs are in a big market, and they play small market baseball when it comes to their finances. It doesn't really make sense to me. Um,
Hmm.
they're a team that should be very aggressive in free agency. They should really be pursuing an arm or two to bolster that rotation, an overhaul of the bullpen, and then some good complementary offensive pieces. So they're off to a very interesting start to their offseason. I can't judge it until the end of it, obviously, but we
Yeah,
got to see where they end up because this is not a good indication when you're losing maybe your best starter, maybe your best bat.
willingly losing your best
Yeah,
starter
it's
too.
just it's not like you're getting
That's what makes it
outbid.
weird. He
Yeah,
wasn't a free agent, and you're not just going to be betting on him. You're choosing to let him walk and test the waters. Like
no,
that doesn't make
100%
sense.
agree.
I don't care. Like it was a bad 2 month stretch. Whatever. You know what he is. Like he was
Yeah,
an amazing
no,
starter for you.
I agree with you. I'm really curious as to what their offseason plans are.
Yeah, they
I
are.
They feel like a team that's going to go after Cody Bellinger and just
That's such a backwards move.
that's such a Cubs move though. That's such a
It
Cubs
is.
move
It is.
though.
And this is a team. It looked like they were trying to be the big market that we know they are. They brought in Dansby Swanson, then they made that bid for Imanaga, bring
Yeah.
in Kyle Tucker last offseason, and you're just gonna throw it all away. Making the playoffs is not the end of the line. The goal is to
No.
win a World Series.
It's not like you got here now you like they're not even blowing up. They're just slowly going away into the night, which is not what you should be doing. You should be bolstering and
No,
adding to this team. Like Craig Counsell's used to operating like this, but the Cubs organization should not be. Like
no,
because
not a chance.
Craig Counsell can get absolutely anybody to the playoffs. He may not be able to get this Cubs team there next year. Like that.
They're a big market team shedding more cap than the Brewers.
Yeah, it I don't understand what this might unless they have like really big um like off-season plans and they want to target one.
I just don't see it.
No, but like I'm not are they going after one of the Japanese whales maybe? Like one like Murakami or Komodo? I don't know.
You'd think they want to keep Imanaga though, if that
I
were the
would have thought
case.
Imanaga would have been key to that whole
I mean, they still
operation.
have
I
Suzuki, I guess.
hey, I don't fucking know. Okay, I know nothing. I don't understand it. Okay, we've talked for 2 minutes
No,
with the Cubs, and I'm actually more confused than we started because the more I verbalize it, the less understanding of a plan that I have.
yeah, no,
I
it
don't
just
understand what they're doing, Keenan. I don't get it at all. And you know what? I want to see what these guys do. Let's just play it out and see what happens with the Cubs. Okay?
yeah, we'll let it play out. Do you understand this plan though? The Angels and their plan to trade both Joe Adele and Taylor Ward this offseason. But they're still really competitive, remember.
Yeah. Do I understand what they're doing? No. Do I understand their thought behind it? Kind of, because I think now they're maybe admitting defeat and just realizing we got to blow it up. This farm system is not ready to feed the big league team. We need to
It
get what
never
we can.
is.
Well, because the thing is, if you're going to trade Joe Adele now, at least you're selling at the peak of his value, right? So
That's
trade him
true.
at his peak.
That's true.
Taylor Ward's probably not going to get a higher trade value than this for him, even if he performs like he did last year. Get these guys out of there now. But at that point, I would unload Zach Neto as well. He's probably your best trade chip. Zach Neto's a great
Yeah,
player.
you can. He's got a lot of cheap term left.
Yeah.
That means every
If
team
you're the
should.
Blue Jays, let's see Bo Bichette get Zach Neto. Ugh. If they're doing a fire sale in LA, but like they don't really ever really fully blow it up. They kind of just retool to go from worst to bad. I
Yeah,
I I get it. They want to sell high, but they still have one of the 10 highest payrolls. So I can understand wanting to sell high on some of your young promising bats, but I, it all depends on where they believe this team can go, right? If the goal is to replenish the farm system, I completely get it. But they've never been a team who wants to just ride out 3 bad years and replenish their assets. They've always
that's
wanted
not
to
the
flip
argument
and
they're in
flop,
anyway.
flip, and that never really works out for them. So I think that's going to be more of what this is. I think instead of getting top 10 team prospects, they're really going to get like, young major league guys who are just lottery tickets you're hoping work out. So they'll probably sell for pennies on the dollar as per usual.
Yeah, I understand the Taylor Ward one more because it's the last year of his deal, and realistically, it doesn't make sense to re-sign him. This franchise is in no man's land.
Oh, I get it.
But if you are going to trade Joe Adele, you got to trade everyone else too, and just start from scratch. But it's just not the argument
Joe
they're in.
Adele, I mean, I get he can hit, but he can't play the outfield.
No, God, no. He is
Like,
an awful player.
I was gonna say I understand trading Adele more than I understand trading Ward. Maybe you feel like you can't trade. Maybe you feel like you want to try and re-sign Ward, but to me, Joe Adele is just not a player I want on my baseball team. Like,
Yeah,
yeah, the bat's there, but he can't do anything else. He's
no.
maybe the worst outfielder in the American League.
I think he was like based off like outs above average. He was down there.
Well,
But
based
I
on
was just
me
gonna say I
watching him
don't.
play, he can't play the outfield. Based
No,
on me
I was just
watching,
gonna say
he can't hit.
when it comes to Taylor Ward, I just don't see them convincing him to stay.
That's true,
Like
but Ward also
that's
has
just gonna be the
higher
same.
value. So Ward's going to be a lot easier to move because any team acquiring Adele probably going to want him to DH. Like, there's no way
Yeah,
you can look at him and think this is an everyday outfield player.
and the Angels' price might be higher just because of cheap and the term on his deal.
Yeah, no, that too. So I don't know. I don't really
So
know what they're doing. I never really know what they're doing. It's always just retooling with them, but they retool for a team that at best can win 80 games. So I don't
hey,
know.
it's baseball. We never know what anyone's doing in the
No,
offseason.
we don't know anything, Keenan, as has been
No
proven
one
time and time
knows
again. You
anything.
and I, Keenan, you and I know nothing. That's all I've learned from this whole fucking show is you and I don't know anything about
We know that
baseball
you
or anything.
called vote though. You called the vote manager of the year.
He's not gonna win it though. They're gonna have to fucking Schneider.
Couple of opt-outs, couple of big opt-outs. Alex Bregman saw this one coming. He talked about it back in September.
Yeah.
Edwin Diaz, a little shocked there, and Cody Bellinger, not surprising, and Robert Suarez, probably the best closer on the market now. Just
Helsley
opted
maybe?
out of his contract. Hey,
Helsley, do we think? Helsley's pretty good.
he had a rough stretch in New York though.
Look, that entire team had a rough stretch.
Fair
Surely he
enough.
didn't help things, but I actually kind of want him on the Jays. I actually feel like Helsley would be a really good addition to the bullpen.
Helsley or Suarez? You'd go Helsley.
I feel like Helsley's going to be a better deal for us. I don't really want
Fair
to.
enough.
I feel like you can get Helsley like 3 years, 40 million. I feel like Suarez is going to cost a little bit more. Never been a
That's
fan
fair.
of paying bullpen guys like because every bullpen pitcher is just a failed starter, anyways. Like
You got to have lots of turnover in the pen. No long-term contracts.
no, never a long. No, no. The longest I would ever sign a bullpen arm was like 3 or 4 years, and
Yeah.
even four, I'm kind of I feel like you'd lock him
Four
down.
is you got to front load the contract.
Yeah, exactly. Like 3 years is about the comfort zone. And that's what I'd pay like a Helsley, a Suarez. I'd maybe give Diaz 2 years. Like that's even that I'm a
Yeah.
bit like, oh, I don't want to give Diaz more than a year because it's
He's
the
too
Edwin Diaz
inconsistent year to year
experience.
too.
Yeah. Hey.
Diaz is too inconsistent year to year. He'll be elite and
Yeah,
then
but the thing
okay.
is though, is if you sign him 2 years, you're gonna get one good year. You're guaranteed a
True.
good year.
True.
1 year though, you have it's up to the gods. So
Mhm.
yeah,
Out of these four, out of these four, I'd say Robert Suarez is gone. He's not re-signing.
yeah, and I don't think Bellinger's re-signing either.
You don't think so? I was gonna say I'd probably have the most confidence in either Diaz or Bellinger staying.
I have more confidence in Diaz. I have almost zero confidence in Bregman. Like
No, it
when
just
you
feels like
start
he's a
talking
tiger.
opt out in the season in a playoff hunt, he's.
Yeah, you're gone.
I don't know where he's gonna go to though. I don't.
Detroit,
Yeah, reunite with Hinch maybe. They need
they need a
vets.
third baseman.
They need vets too.
They, they need a lot. They're in a weird spot. Yeah, I don't know where Bellinger would go. It just
You
feels
know what
he
though?
wants to play in a big market.
Every team needs a Gold Glove caliber left-handed outfield bat. Every
Yeah,
team
but
needs. He's a fit everywhere.
Bellinger feels like he wants to play in a big market. That's the
Fucking, you know
Bellinger
what,
thing.
Keenan? You know what? Texas may throw some money at him.
They
Texas may throw
could.
some
They
money at him.
they could use a bat. They could use
They
a
could
bat.
use after how bad last year was. Yeah, they could use a
Yeah,
bat.
they could
Like,
definitely use a bat.
yeah, they could use a bat. No, they could definitely use a bat. I don't know. I don't know like what the market is on Ballinger. Maybe if Philly blows it up and they want to try and retool, he may be a guy they target. If they want to try and unload the Castellanos contract, they want to try and move on from Turner or Harper. I could see them bringing him in for a year or two, but yeah, I don't really know
Yeah.
where we go from here with Bregman. Really, I don't know what the vision. If it's not Detroit, I don't know where he goes because he wants to win. He's a competitive guy. He's played on
Yeah.
winning teams his entire career pretty much. He's the one who I still don't know where he's going to go because Boston made sense fit wise.
It did, and then they had an amazing year, and he didn't
Yeah,
like
and
that.
then he opted out,
One of the yeah, probably the weirdest opt out.
and he was talking about it 2 months ago, opting out.
Yeah, they're like, all right, guys, let's hunker down, push through, and make the playoffs. He's like, I want out.
He's like, yeah, no, I'm out, guys. Fuck this shit.
I'm
After this,
good.
I'm out.
Yeah.
Really, really weird thing from like the guy you kind of brought in to be the veteran to all the kids. Like that was really
I don't
weird behavior.
even I don't even know the last time someone talked about opting out during the season. even when they were on a bad team. It just
It
doesn't happen.
it wasn't like the news got leaked either. He was talking about it.
He was public about it. At least Pete
Yeah.
Alonso waited until the
No,
Mets got
he was
eliminated.
incredibly front facing about his entire abandoning the team situation. Like he
Yeah,
was so this is just what I'm doing. You guys don't like
yeah.
it? Fuck you. Like that's pretty much what he was doing. And I'm like, kind of get it. Okay, whatever, dude. But yeah,
Like, hey, we got a chance. Like, no,
no,
I'm
he's the
out.
guy. He's the guy who's fit. I just don't know what it is. I just don't know what
Yeah,
it is.
if he doesn't return, and if it's not Detroit, I don't know where else he goes.
Yeah, Detroit's the only landing spot I can kind of think of.
Yeah, really. Like,
I don't know. I just don't know where. Like, what's the plan here?
yeah, also
So
Boston side, they brought him in, and then the whole Devers thing happened, and now he's just gonna walk.
yeah, that's the really unfortunate thing is you
Yeah.
trade. Yeah, that didn't make a lot of sense. Like,
No, the business side of whatever Boston's doing is looking a little worse, but
but they still have Roman Anthony. They still have Roman
they
Anthony.
do. They got that. He was pretty good. Um, Speaking of Roman Anthony, Rookie of the Year voting came out today. Kurtz obviously won it for the American League, unanimous, and then Drake Baldwin, Braves catcher, took it in the
I
National
would have
League.
favored Cade Horton. I feel like Cade
I was
Horton.
gonna say Cade Horton too. It was a little more one-sided than I thought it would be. Like I
Yeah,
was split
Braves
down the middle
bias.
on.
Though. Teams, writers fucking love the Braves for some reason.
I love the Cubs too, though. That's the thing.
That's very true, but I feel like there's also a bit of catcher bias there. Like even though a catcher hasn't won the award,
Yeah, that's fair.
whenever
That's fair.
like whenever a young kid comes up as a catcher, they're like whoa, like
And he's good right away.
Drake Baldwin didn't play a meaningful game this year,
The Braves didn't play a meaningful game this year.
and it's not his fault. I'm not insinuating it's his fault. Cade Horton was the engine for the Cubs driving to the playoffs, pretty much. Like he was the
Yeah.
best player on a playoff team for a couple of weeks of the season. Like
The problem is he had an awful start to the season, and
yeah,
that
but who
really
cares
that.
about that? Yeah, but when you play meaningful
I mean,
baseball,
true, but if you
no.
when you're a voter, you look at the numbers for the year. It does hurt a
You don't
little.
have to. You can look at was this guy good when he had to be good? Cade Horton had to be good. He was good.
Yeah,
Like
and then he got hurt in September too. Like if you
that's not
think
his
about his,
fault. If
it's
if
not his
I can't
fault.
hold Drake Baldwin playing against no meaningful games, then you can't hold the other thing against Horton. That's not fair.
Okay, all right, I'll
You
give you
want to
that one.
predict our awards now? I'm getting a bit heated.
Yeah, should we
Sorry.
get the easy ones out of the way?
Yeah, let's do the MVPs.
Otani.
You and I, yeah, we both
Do
have
we,
Otani and Judge.
do we need
Layup.
to explain it? No,
We may need to explain Judge.
it's a little
People are
bit,
still
a
on the
little
Cal
bit.
Raleigh thing. People are still on the Cal Raleigh thing.
It's gonna be close, but it's Judge. It's
Aaron Judge was the best player in the American League this year, and
he was.
if you switch him and Cal Raleigh, the Yankees end up with a worse record, and the Mariners end up with a better record.
Yeah,
Aaron
I think
Judge plays
that's
pretty good. Aaron Judge plays pretty good defense, and he is the best hitter in baseball.
and it's not close.
No, there's no one near
It
him.
just isn't like an elite offensive season from Cal Raleigh. Got his Silver Slugger, well deserved.
Yeah,
Will get
good for him.
MVP votes. Yeah, but it's Aaron Judge's until Aaron Judge loses it, and it's in the National League. It's Otani's until he loses it. Like that's just the level that those two are playing at is just far beyond anyone else's elite season, and they do it year to year.
Yeah, and
If that's not value, I don't know what is.
we've become numb to how good they both are.
Yeah, that when you see someone else have a fraction of their numbers, you're like, oh, it's so good. Look
Yeah,
at the
like
value that he's
like
providing.
these are maybe the two best players since Barry Bonds retired.
Yeah, and they're not juiced up.
No, they're not juiced up, and they're putting up similar numbers, which is really freaky. Like the Aaron Judge,
Yeah,
like these guys, they're on par with like Mike Trout, healthy at his peak. Like they're
yeah.
that they give you that much more of a chance to win. Like they're insane. So yeah, we could talk all day about how great they are. Do we want to do Manager of the Years? Because
You don't want to do Cy Young first?
we can do Cy Young. I don't even care. Whatever.
All right,
Keenan's show, guys.
Scooble.
Keenan's show. Yeah, I have Scooble and Sanchez. Sanchez was the best pitcher in the National League this year. Sorry.
I got Scooble and Skeens. That's who I think it'll go to.
I get Skeens, and The thing about Skeens is there wasn't a lot of volume, and that was because the Pirates were a lot more tentative with them down the stretch in like August and
Yeah,
September, which I get. But for me, like I look at Sanchez putting up like super similar numbers, and he gives you what like 50 more innings. To me, that's the Cy Young. Like giving you 200 quality innings is really, really, really big with me.
yeah, no, that's a great reasoning. I put in Skeens because that's who they're going to give it to. This isn't. I don't.
Whatever, man. Why are you so cynical all the time, Keenan?
Also, it's only 15 innings between the two. He only had 15 more innings.
Well, oh my God, one guy pitched 200 innings. Keenan, if we know one thing about writers, they love guys who throw 200 innings.
That's true.
It's like a big number, but yeah, like I get it with Skeens. Sanchez is right there though. Like his numbers are really similar to Skeens. Like they're really
Yeah,
similar, and Sanchez pitched in games where the other teams had to try.
yeah. He pitched in meaningful games. He was in a. It was a divisional race until August was over, and
Yeah,
then they
again,
ran away with
all
it. But it was
Skeens. Go
more
ahead, sorry.
impactful, more meaningful. I get that. I'm just my answer is just who I think they're going to give it to. They love Skeens.
They do love Skeens, and I get that. I just think Sanchez he's playing in a much harder division.
Hmm.
Like Skeens is playing against teams who don't care if they even lose to him because they know they're going to win the other games in the series. I don't know. I think when you take context in Sanchez probably takes it from him because their production is not that dissimilar. Like yeah, Skeens has a few more strikeouts, Sanchez thrown a few more innings, but in terms of getting outs and winning games, they're pretty close. Like this year in a vacuum, which is what it should be. Yeah,
Yeah, no, it's like I said, it should be. I don't think it'll be. It should be closer than whatever the voting is, because I feel like they're going to favor Skeens a little too much.
if I see Yamamoto in second, I'm gonna kill myself. If Sanchez is in first, he should be second. Like it's
Voting's
not.
done before the playoffs, though.
I
Voting's
don't
completely.
care. That should help Sanchez's case.
Yeah,
Like
that's what I'm saying. That's I don't think Yamamoto's going to be second because voting
no,
is done before the playoffs.
no. And then we both have Scooble, yeah, for American League. There's no one else really.
Yeah, I think that one's an
You
obvious
know,
one.
Hunter Brown's decent. Good year for him.
Yeah, Crochet kind of slipped near the end.
Yeah,
It was close for a
Crochet. He's
while.
kind of not in the same tier as Scooble. I'm kind of sick and like
No,
he's not too.
it was close for a while though, and
Yeah, but
then
the better guy always wins, doesn't he?
it does. And Scooble just consistent down the stretch. That's why you pay him.
Yeah. Manager of the year, I have John Schneider and Pat Murphy. Really torn, really torn on who I wanted to go with. Like I really wanted to do. My heart wanted Steven Vogt and Terry Francona, but ah, I just don't
Yeah.
think what John Schneider did was like that crazy. Like yeah, it was
No.
last to first and whatever. He was the fifth highest payroll in the league though.
Yeah, and let's be honest, most of this was on Popkins, the hitting coach.
But also who hired Popkins as the candidate? Like Schneider hired the guy, so
True, very true. But like the direct on field, yeah. But yeah, I wouldn't vote for the American League. We both had Murphy for the National League. I wouldn't vote just because of the late season push, that like insane run that they went on in September, and
yeah,
he did more with less. They won the division with an awful payroll with
yeah.
players
No, and the thing is,
trying to lose.
the Guardians are one of the probably the five worst teams in baseball. Like they suck.
Yeah, by talent wise, 100%.
They are a bad team. I don't know how like every week.
We said it every week. I felt like every week we were talking about
Cut me
this.
off again.
Like they
Thanks.
suck.
Every week when you and I are going to the standings, I'm like, how the fuck are the Guardians 500 in the last 10? They got outscored 30 to fucking 5. They just found a way to win games. I don't understand it. The bullpen management was excellent. The way that he was able to manufacture runs was excellent. I don't get how the Guardians won more than 80 games this year. I don't
They
get.
had a negative run differential.
Yeah, and they won the division, which, what the fuck, Cleveland? I don't understand how Stephen Vogt got these guys to win. I don't get it. That's
No,
all I can.
it doesn't
I
make sense.
understand Schneider's approach. Like Atkins and Shibara built this team, and he managed the team the exact way it was meant to be managed. But he was kind of a push button manager. Okay, like there weren't a lot of big decisions he made. That's all I'm gonna say. He had one of the best talent.
They had the big bats.
Yeah, no, like
He
this
didn't
is
need to make
a
the
really
big
talented Blue
decisions
Jay
like
team.
Vogt.
Like this Jays team, yeah, they were underdogs. They were also extremely talented. Like there were a lot of really good players, and he kind of just had to just push the right buttons. Whereas like Stephen Vogt really had to work, but when you go from worst to first, you're manager of the year. That's just how it works.
Yeah.
I'll make the rules.
They also voters love the win differential from year to year.
Yeah, no, they do. That doesn't shouldn't really fucking matter in my opinion. But
It's like the thing they care about the most too.
again, shouldn't really fucking matter in my
No.
opinion. But like, cause like who managed their team the best is what we should be doing. But you know, it is what it is.
I think
It
though I think it is who managed the team the best for the National League because Murphy they're actively cutting payroll year to year and the team gets better. Everyone just has a proper role on the team. Pitching is good, hitting they're playing small ball. They got big hits.
yeah, no,
It was just well managed.
the only other thing with Murphy is, or with him winning, is you maybe want to go with Francona, but the Reds didn't exactly play their way into the playoffs. The Mets just completely collapsed in the final
Yeah,
2 weeks of the season, and the Reds just kind of walked in playing a like 500. But a good accomplishment for the Reds to make the playoffs. We both said at the start of the year, if they make the playoffs, that's great experience. They're a fun young team. Now next year they should be able to, I think, probably finish second in that division. That would be a really good accomplishment. So their their progress is trending upwards, but it's just a shame that Francona won't get the acknowledgement for that.
yeah. Need a power bat though if they want to actually develop as a team.
Yeah, it's just
They need a
tough.
power
Nobody
bat.
likes living in Cincinnati. That's the thing.
That's true. Yeah, yeah, but it's just a baseball problem because you'll get outbid. Every other sport,
It's
these
true.
kind of markets still drag in players. It's
Yeah,
just a
true.
baseball problem.
It's true. They'll find someone. They'll find someone.
They better find someone. This is their opportunity.
Suarez reu
Um,
a Suarez reunion. Don't count it out.
no, don't count it out. He was great for them back
Yeah.
in the day. Still got stuff left in the tank. You want to talk about Luis Ortiz and Emmanuel Clase? The biggest story of the offseason so far?
Probably, but I mean, this is dragged on since like June. I feel like,
It has.
right? Like this story's been going on for a while. Like it's just now that I think Ortiz appeared in court. Today's Monday. I think he appeared in court today. And I mean, now the news is that Manfred's going to limit gambling on like single pitch velocity and stuff like, which is garbage anyways. Why are we even allowed to gamble on that, right? Like,
Yeah.
but if they're both convicted, they don't plea out. They're going to get up to 65 years in prison. That's kind of the headline. Ortiz has been labeled as a flight risk, so he has to produce a $500,000 bond, 50,000 of which he has to post within 3 weeks. I think he already has posted bond. The other stuff though, it's so disappointing because I saw that the winnings of like this like pitch fixing stuff was like 450 grand.
Yeah.
What the fuck, guys? Like you're so rich. You need this money? Like really? Like I bet they thought it was going to be so easy and free. Who's even going to care? They probably said, "Well, people care." Right? Like you're going to get caught doing this stupid stuff and it's just a massive mistake.
It is. And Clase, especially, I think if his contract played out in Cleveland, he would have had career earnings of roughly $33 million.
Yep.
And you don't, that's not a gamble. Everyone knows you're an elite closer. Everyone knows you're going
Well,
to get
and the
what you
thing
want
is,
throughout the extension.
Classe was the fucking organizer of this. He was the
Yes.
middleman. So it
He'd
wasn't.
also, this, he'd also, he'd been suspended for PEDs before. So you know he's obviously, he's a bit out there.
There's
Not the smartest
there's
guy,
the
clearly.
polite thing to say is character question marks, but that would be
Character questions, yeah.
there's character questions with Class A, and it I just don't understand why you're doing that for 12 grand. Like seriously, that's like a couple
Hmm.
community appearances for you probably. Like
Yeah.
come on,
Sign a
like
couple autographs. Get
seriously,
yourself a little brand deal.
do a brand deal and you get that easy, man. Like you don't need to
Yeah,
rig
more than that.
you don't need to rig pitches and stuff like that. Like it's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like this is entirely on those two. Those two completely backed themselves into a corner with this. So really, really embarrassing, shameful stuff, especially given baseball's history with gambling.
Yeah, 100%. There's no excuse.
Yeah.
Simply put. It
Should we talk about like the big three coming over in the off is like end there, and because we'll talk about a bit more about free agency next week.
yeah.
We should probably talk about like the three big names coming over. the one people are going to hear the most about is Munetaka Murakami, right?
Yes.
Like
Also, they've all been posted. We should add that.
they
They've
had,
all
yeah,
been
no, I
posted.
won't talk about a player who hasn't been posted, right? But with with Murakami, you're getting, I mean, a huge power bat. Probably not a guy you want playing defense every day. Like
No.
you don't want him playing third. Maybe you can have him play first, but I mean, he performed at the World Baseball Classic, right? Like 3, no, that's 2 years ago now. He can rip the baseball. He can generate a lot of power. The issue is the stat floating around on Twitter is he hits .065 on pitches 93 miles an hour and above that, right? So that's not great, and the contact rate as well is only 63% for that.
Mhm.
You don't want a 63% contact rate, and if you go back as well and look at secondary pitches, so non-fastballs, it's 51%. So he's a classic big lefty, huge power bat, not going to touch the ball a lot of the time though, right? So
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure how he's going to project because your strikeout rate typically doesn't like increase or decrease when you move from MVP to MLB. And he's still like a fairly youngish guy, right? He has been plagued by injuries too, but I think he's going to garner like a couple $100 million, right? Like
Yeah, he'll get a big contract. Everyone
yeah,
knows that. It
like
might be a rough first year though to adjust to the
it's going to be an
velocity.
adjust. No, it's going to be an adjustment. If he hits you 30 tanks, I feel like that you'd be pretty comfortable with that,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
And
there'll be an
also,
adjustment period for him.
it's going to be a lot harder for him to hit lefties.
Yeah.
Like him having to hit play and hit like American lefties, that's going to be a problem, right? Like, and then you have like the pitcher Imai, I think Tetsuya Imai, 27, good velo, really not like a lot of the Japanese guys who have come over throw a great splitter. He does not throw a great splitter, right? He's got a very diverse arsenal, but the splitter's not one of the plus pitches. Picture Kodai Senga. He's gonna get like Kodai Senga range value. He's gonna be like a 2, maybe he can be a 1, but like probably gonna, I would say 7 years, 170 million is a good contract. He's 27 years old. You want to get him for the prime of his career. He knows how to pitch. He's like a number. He's like a low end 2, high end 3 right now. Maybe you think you can get him up to like being like a proper number 2, but he's not an ace. He's not Yoshinobu Yamamoto, right? He's a quality
Mhm.
arm. I like him. The other one, maybe the most interesting, is Okamoto, the other corner infielder who can actually play defense and has an insanely high contact rate, which is really kind of coming back in vogue now. People want guys who put the ball in play a lot, who hit the ball hard. Uh, he's like, and the thing is, he's 29, right? So like, you get him, you sign him to a 5-year deal, you get the peak of his years, right? As a corner bat who can put the bat on the ball, I think he'd be a really good addition to a competitive team. And if where they were playing wasn't a factor, I'd look at Detroit and say throw this guy at third probably. He could
Yeah.
probably figure it out there. Like he could probably play third, and he's the answer to your problems. But now I'm thinking, okay, he plays first and third. Bregman's a third baseman. Pete Alonso's a first baseman. The corner market's going to be really interesting to see how this plays out.
I think Okamoto is going to be a sneaky good signing for whoever gets him because obviously the whole conversation's about Murakami, and like you said, good contact, plays good defense, should be really good for any like. Central teams are hard to attract talent, but that's what a central team wants: high contact, good defense.
Yeah.
Cubs, Brewers, they're not going to go after him. I don't know why I
No.
said that. The
No.
Tigers, like you said, one of those teams. Yeah, that feels like a market that would want to attract him. It's just depending on whether or not Okamoto wants to go there.
Yeah, and like with Okamoto, at 29, you don't want to come over to lose. You want to come over to play for a
No.
really good team, like a really competitive team. So there's not a fit with the Jays there. But if I was the Jays, he'd be the guy I'd want them to sign because he fits with their entire approach and offensive philosophy, entire team
Yeah.
philosophy really well. But there's just no room for him.
Do you want the Jays to go after any of these guys? The pitch, am I maybe? Because they got
Yeah,
a couple of
maybe
pitching free
I'd
agencies.
rather the Jays just sell the farm for Joe Ryan.
Fair enough.
I'd rather just empty
That's
the war chest and go and get the guy. Go and get the
the
guy.
guy, the MLB proven guy, the ace of the Minnesota Twins. Yeah,
Yeah, go
I
and get
I
Joe
think
Ryan.
that would.
Like, if they're serious about this, give him Namala and Ricky Tiedemann and throw in somebody else, and then call it a day and be like, now give us Joe Ryan, right?
Hmm.
That's be aggressive now. You made the World Series. If your front three now is Joe Ryan, Kevin Gausman, and Trey Savage, that is a very good front three, right?
That's
Brios is your
dangerous.
four. You take Brios
And
as
you
your
still
four.
have and you still have Shane Bieber, who opted
Yeah,
into
Brios is
2026.
your five. Like, are you
You don't need
kidding
that. You
me?
don't need to bring back Bassett or Scherzer, and you got
No,
the
no.
rotation better. That's
And
like your
good that
backup.
they made key contributions, but Bassett can go, Scherzer can go.
Yeah. If that's the hypothetical offseason for the Toronto Blue Jays on the pitching side, you have improved. And
Yeah,
by Lou, you've improved your bullpen too, because we know what Joe Ryan does. We know how he is consistently. He can give
yeah.
you innings.
And the Jays, in my opinion, don't need to target a power bat because Anthony Santander will come back healthy. So he, by proxy, serves as your offense. The Look, the Jays have two things to do this offseason. Re-sign Bo Bichette as a second baseman and go and get a big starting pitcher. And Joe Ryan is your guy. Joe Ryan is your pitcher who you want to go after. Now you sell the farm. You give them maybe one of JoJo Parker or Arjun Namala. They're probably only going to want one, and you're completely fine trading Ricky Tiedemann because he cannot stay healthy. If you give them Namala and Tiedemann, maybe they'll want somebody else. I can't imagine whom, but just empty the war chest for Joe Ryan and go from there because now you've bolstered your rotation. Maybe you want to add to the bullpen, but that can wait till the deadline, and you can probably buy cheaper. So that's that. But if they want to add to the bullpen as well, Ryan Helsley would be a really good addition. Like if you're gonna get a guy, I'd go for Helsley, because he really hard throwing, proven guy. I I'd give him 2 years, but I think those are the two important things for them to do: is re-sign Bo Bichette and go and get a frontline starter.
Yeah, I think that would be a perfect offseason for the Blue Jays. We mentioned it earlier in the show. Lots of increased revenue from the playoff run that should be
And
turned
that
into,
money.
yeah,
Yeah.
should be turned into a contract given to Bo Bichette, a Joe Ryan trade and sign, something like that. Something loud, something to counter what the
Statement.
Dodgers,
You
what the
need
big
to make
market
a
teams do.
statement.
You are a huge market, Toronto.
Yeah.
Act like it. Bring
Make
someone
a
in.
statement. Make a statement here. Like, come on. Like make a statement here and try and win this game. Like try and win this division again. Like
Yeah, go back
because
to
the
back.
Yankees are going to get better. Boston's going to be better next year. You need to try and keep pace. Running it back, you don't feel comfortable doing that. To me at least, you need to make a statement trade or a statement signing to stay relevant and to give yourself that belief because you know New York will re-sign guys. You know Boston's going to tinker, right? And Boston's kids are going to get better. So you know
And
you
Boston's in on
have,
Joe Ryan too.
but yeah, and so addition by not giving them somebody, right? So,
Yeah.
but I
Look,
mean, I don't know. Free agency, I just don't know.
free agency is always it's unpredictable in the MLB. It doesn't help that nobody signs right away too, and you can't plan the rest of your off season.
There's so many ebbs and flows, Keenan. There's so many ebbs and flows.
We always say, "Oh, is the domino going to fall?" The domino doesn't fall.
No,
People sign
The
when they want to
domino,
sign.
you and I, Keenan, you and I learned from last year. The domino's never fucking falling.
We said it too many times. We
Yeah, no, the
because like
domino,
Bregman,
Keenan, the domino's not gonna fall. I hate to burst your
it
bubble.
doesn't fall. No,
No,
people will sign when they sign. Winter meetings will come and go. Half the huge stars won't have signed. But the three Japanese players have 45 days to sign. That's their posting.
yeah,
So I think that leads us to mid September, sorry, mid December, and you'll
yeah.
have three guys that have been that signed to an MLB team. That's what we do know.
I'm really interested in Murakami. I'm really
Yeah.
interested to see where he's gonna go and for how
Is he a
much time.
Dodger? Like that's obviously that's the huge thing. They get everyone. I don't think he goes to LA.
No, I'm not big on him in LA. I know he said he wants to, but I don't really see the fit there.
They got Freddie. They accepted Muncie's offer. He's been their third baseman.
If we're talking cash, I don't rule out Texas. I keep bringing up Texas. Don't rule out Texas. They need power in that
They do.
lineup. Like they
Yankees
need
would
depth.
definitely go after him. That's
Yeah.
a Yankee thing
So
to do.
no, the Yankees are
Big
in,
power.
and even Boston. I would be in if I was Boston, right?
Yeah, you just lost Bregman.
Yeah, 100%. So I'm really interested to see how that's going to go too. So we'll see.
I've seen. I don't think he goes here, but I've seen Seattle's name floating around.
Wow, I would, if Seattle could pull him, if Seattle pulls Murakami, everybody watch out now. That would
Yeah,
be really.
that's your replacement for Suarez right there.
Oh yeah, that
That's
solves all your problems.
huge.
That solves
It does.
all that because Suarez was ass last year. Let's be front and center about that. Suarez was bad
Yeah.
in Seattle. He was not good at all. So this solves a lot of your problems. Okay, now you've got me excited a bit. You've got me excited a bit, Keenan. Maybe, yeah. You know what? Murakami to Seattle. I'm all in on this now. I'm
Are we
all in
gonna
on
we're gonna say
Murakami to
we're
Seattle.
gonna say this right now? Is that our dark horse?
That's a dark
Murakami to
horse. You've
Seattle?
got me, Keenan. I'm fired up now. I'm fired up
There
right
we
now,
go.
Keenan. You've got me. I'm
I
all in.
like that.
It just makes too much sense.
It does. They've brought in Japanese players before.
No, they have.
Ichiro. That was obviously
Yeah. No,
huge.
no. Keenan,
Go after Murakami.
I'm loving this. I'm ba loving your idea right now. This makes perfect sense.
It does. We'll end it on that note. That's a perfect
End it on
note to
that
end the
note.
show
Yeah.
on.
Ended it with some hope for
End it with some
our team.
hope.
Yes, thank
We'll
you,
be
Keenan.
back next week. Hopefully somebody's signed by then, but
Yeah, we're gonna see.
don't hope for it.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see.
Yeah,
See
we'll
you.
see.